You've heard the song, but when is the actual 12 days of Christmas? Well, I'm here to clear that up for you. So growing up, I was the daughter of two Presbyterian pastors. Both my mom and my dad are ordained Presbyterian ministers. So growing up, I grew up in a liturgical style church, which means we had seasons and particular scripture readings and all this other stuff. Growing up, there were several things that I kind of already knew that are kind of misconceptions within the secular world. I'm sure you are well aware of the song, The 12 Days of Christmas. And of course, the best version is the Muppets. If you haven't heard that, please Google that because it's amazing. The problem I always had as a kid was knowing that the 12 Days of Christmas actually begins on Christmas Day. Many, many, many people that I knew or encountered thought December 13th was the first day of Christmas. It's not. Let's get that straight right now. Because Christmas is a season and not just a day within the liturgical church, there is a direct connection between Christmas Day and Epiphany. Now, what's Epiphany? If you haven't heard of Epiphany, Epiphany is January 6th, and that is the day that the church celebrates the wise men coming to worship and give gifts to the Christ child. If you count from Christmas Day to Epiphany, there's 12 days. And by days, I mean like sunsets. That's where the 12 days of Christmas comes from. It's actually connecting Christmas Day to Epiphany. It always kind of bugged me when I was younger because I knew this. And when people would say, oh, it's the first day of Christmas on December 13th, I'd say, no, it's not. Now, we didn't observe this when I was a kid. I just knew it from the American Girl doll, Kirsten, because I liked her the best. And it was her Christmas story, is that December 13th is actually St. Lucia Day. So if you are of a Scandinavian background, you probably know all about St. Lucia and all of that. It's always interesting to me that people start talking about it's the first day of Christmas when there is a feast day for December 13th, but it's not the first day of Christmas. In the liturgical church, we're still in Advent. We are in Advent until, Christmas Eve when we celebrate the birth of Christ. And then that starts the whole Christmas season. And, we have Christmas Day and all the 12 days of Christmas up until Epiphany. And Epiphany is the day that means the Christmas season's over. So technically that's the day you take down your Christmas decorations. I always thought as a kid that we just left them up because we liked them and we were tired because both my parents were pastors. But no, there's an actual legitimate reason we waited until January 6th. So we do have a couple small Advent decorations that we do. Usually we're decorated by now, but we asked Jill and she wanted to wait till after her birthday. So we'll decorate for Christmas later, and probably this weekend. But for now, we want to have something because, it is the Christmas season, but it's also Advent. So we don't go all out with Christmas decorations until later in the month and closer to actual Christmas. So let me show you the two things that we have. This little guy is what I grew up with to count down for Christmas. It's got a little mouse. Hi, mouse. And I always thought he was in a sleeping bag. I don't know what he's supposed to be in, but I decided it was a sleeping bag years and years ago. And I love it because it reminds me of my childhood. It's still in really good condition. So that's kind of nice. And then last year my parents got us this. I'm going to move these over. And that. So it's a nativity scene, but it's also an advent calendar in a way because it's got these little drawers that all the different characters are on. So far we've got 3 sheep, a donkey, I think that's a cow, and a camel, 1 wise man, Mary and Joseph, and then 4 stars. I think there's 5. That's new this year, but we're having lots of fun with that. I hope that cleared up the 12 days of Christmas for you, what it is and when it is and all of that. If you have any other questions, or if there's any other church, Christmas, or Advent traditions that you are that you have a question about, please leave a comment or a question below. I would love to answer any questions. And again, I'm from a liturgical style church, so that's what I know best. If you ask me a question about something I don't know, I will research it and find out for you. Have a great Thursday, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.